Hey there! Are you looking for a fun bromance movie to watch while you bro out and chill with your bros? Look no further! Hotel Transylvania is the best animated bromance film of all time! And I know what you're thinking. Whitney, Hotel Transylvania is a kids movie. I'm looking for something more in the realm of Step Brothers or I Love You Man. But think again, baby. Hotel Transylvania has all the key plot elements of a great romantic comedy, and I'm gonna tell you all about them. I'm Whitney Van Laningham, and this is why Hotel Transylvania is the best bromance. Act 1. They hate each other because they don't know each other. The beginning of Hotel Transylvania starts off just like any other dick flick. We're introduced to Dracula and subsequently Johnny after Dracula's motives have been made clear. While we learn that Drac runs an allegedly human-proof secret monster hotel, we also learn about Dracula's tragic backstory. He raised his daughter alone because his wife died like 100 years or so ago. The best part is that Mavis's mom's name is Martha, so she and Superman and Batman will have something to talk about at their next support group meeting. But now that his wife is gone, Dracula is extra protective of his daughter. Think King Trident levels of overprotective. You know how King Trident wouldn't let Ariel meet humans because it was too dangerous? That's basically the underlying plot here. Honestly, I think this movie trope kinda sucks. You gotta raise your daughters to be strong and savvy, homie. Didn't we learn our lesson in The Little Mermaid? If you don't let your daughter have her hoarder closet, she's probably gonna rescue a sailor boy and sell her voice to a sea witch. Or in this movie's case, if you don't let your daughter explore the outside world, she might just fall in love with a human who wanders into the castle. He does this real gaslighty thing where he finally lets her go to a human village, but he rigs it with zombies dressed as humans that chase her down and freak her out so bad that she never wants to step foot outside the hotel again. Ugh, lighten up, Daddy Drac. Also, I love that you could totally play a drinking game where you drink every time Adam Sandler does something very Adam Sandler-y, like playing a silly song on ukulele for his daughter like he does to Drew Barrymore. And don't even get me started about Kevin James's Frankenstein. He's basically just Paul Blart Frankencup. And true to every Kevin James movie ever, they give him some stupid line about how much ridiculous food he can shove into his tubby maw.
Let me get a bubonic moose nose omelet with cockroach paste and mouse jelly. Oh, and with egg whites.
Anyways, back to the bromance! Obviously, Dracula does not like Johnny. For starters, he's a human. Humans are smelly and dangerous and love killing monsters with fire. Also, Dracula has clearly never been on Tumblr, or else he'd know that vampires have been hella accepted since like 1976 when Anne Rice was still hip and new. But whatever. Drac hates humans, and therefore his daughter can never go out with one. He tries super hard to get Johnny to leave his daughter's birthday party, but he ends up being a bangin' party host, and all of Dracula's friends and family members fall in love with him. Of course, nobody but Drac knows that Johnny's really a human. They lie and say he's Frankenstein's sixth cousin. By the way, so annoying. The monster's name was not Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein was the guy who made the monster. Call him the creature, call him the modern Prometheus, whatever. But if one more person fails to acknowledge that Victor Frankenstein was a fantastic Gene Wilder character and also not the monster whatsoever, god damn it. Next, Dracula and Johnny trick everyone into believing that Johnny's full name is Johnny Stein, and so begins the most bitchin' party of all time. Johnny has the monsters riding razor scooters, listening to I'm Sexy and I Know It, and he's telling stories about his global travels. He's totally nailing Mavis's birthday bash. All of this stuff is totally like in Step Brothers when Brennan Huff and Dale Doback totally hate each other because their parents got remarried. Of course, in the Hotel Transylvania parallel universe of Step Brothers, it's not long before Act 2! Johnny teaches Dracula how to have fun and they become unlikely friends! It was bound to happen sooner or later. Remember in The Hangover when Zach Galifianakis convinced all of his friends to have fun and let loose and take roofies? This was kind of like that, only with vampires and zero barbiturates. Johnny convinces Drac to go table surfing with him, and just like that, they're Corey and Sean! They're Steve Rogers and Tony Stark! They're Buzz and Woody! They're Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid! Act 3. Dracula reveals something personal to Johnny, and they share a tender moment. After saving Johnny's life from Quasimodo trying to cook him, he feels like it's finally time to start really connecting with his new bro. He reveals the real reason why Mavis's mom died. A mob of angry townsfolk stormed their castle with torches and pitchforks, and one of the humans kinda killed his wife. Johnny now understands his bro on a deeper level than ever before. Like a real homie, Dracula tells Johnny about Mavis's feelings for him. That's how you know that they are the tightest buttholes. Dracula is basically like, here bro, if my 118-year-old daughter has to pork someone, at least I know you're a pretty good dude. I get that Mavis has to be in this to serve as Johnny's love interest, but I kinda find myself not caring at all about her storyline. I'm all about that Drac and Johnny bromance, baby! Act 4, Dracula does something to put his friendship with Johnny in peril. Of course, immediately after they bond like hell, Johnny finds himself being pushed away by Drac's disapproval once again. Come on, Daddy D, there's always gonna be a-holes in this world who don't accept you. If you don't believe me, just look at the comments on this video after it goes up. But that's no reason to deny your best bud true love. Like a good bro, Johnny leaves the castle so that he won't hurt his friend or his friend's daughter. Drac tries to stop him, but it's too late. Johnny's been hurt bad. Of course, on his way out, he has to stop by the monster rave that's happening in the dungeon. What? Just because he doesn't want to break Dracula's unbeating heart doesn't mean that he can't get his freak on. Of course, our girl Mavis shows up looking fly as hell, and Johnny can't resist shaking it with her. But just then, who should appear breakdancing in the center of the dance floor? Dracula! Johnny knows he's got a split, but Mavis wants to make out a little. What's a dude to do? She plants a big wet one right on the lips just as Dracula bursts through the crowd to menace Johnny. Johnny bounces so that Drac won't suck all the blood out of his body like a sorority girl with an eco-friendly Frappuccino straw. Basically, this whole scene is like the part in I Love You Man where Sidney tells Peter that he shouldn't marry Zoe, and then asks him to borrow like $8,000, and then almost destroys his relationship with Zoe. Act 5! Dracula wins back Johnny's heart with an airport chase scene! Seeing his daughter so upset, Drac realizes that he made a huge mistake in letting his best bro go. He decides to hunt down Johnny to bring him back to the hotel, but upon arriving at the airport, he realizes that he's too late. But like Ross on Friends, Dracula realizes that he can't just let his Rachel go, and turns into a bat so that he can chase the plane. I honestly have no idea how he's still alive after this, because it looked like he was cooking pretty ferociously in the sun out there, but don't worry, he's still alive because cartoon logic. Drac hypnotizes the pilot into making a bromantic confession of his brotherly love for Johnny and begs him to come home. Johnny, of course, agrees. He's getting his best pal and his girl back. Dracula and Johnny make up, rekindling their friendship and strengthening their bond. Drac brings Johnny back to the hotel and gives him his daughter for a birthday present, which is kind of like giving himself a present too, if you really think about it. Johnny apologizes to Mavis, and then the two of them make out for real this time! The movie closes with the ultimate best bro move. Dracula and Johnny start a band together! Guys, this movie is truly the perfect romantic comedy. It has all the qualifiers of a dick flick. Bros at odds with each other, bros broing out, bros letting each other in on some intimate details, bros falling out, bros chasing bros down at the airport, and finally, bros reigniting that bromance that started it all in the first place. Ah, so good. Is Hotel Transylvania ruined for you now that you know it's just a bromantic comedy? Or do you love it even more now? Let me know in the comments below, follow us on Twitter at Nerdwire HQ, and I'll be back next week to ruin your childhood.